The Stardust Affair by Bilal Siddiqi. Read by Suyash Mohan. Chapter 1. Dubai. He knew he had to do it. There was no other way. The other guy didn't quite have it in him, and if it came from him, it would make for a more compelling and credible case. The evidence he had could end it all. He pushed his way past an Arab family into a jam-packed elevator, leaving them cursing him in a language he didn't know and didn't want to learn. He didn't have the time to be stuck on an escalator either, blocked by middle-aged women carrying Victoria's Secret bags or by teenagers holding hands. Why do these damn Dubai malls have to be so huge? The elevator stopped on all 3 floors on the way down. He was a large man, big enough to push the others in the elevator to one side, much to their chagrin. The elevator finally halted on the ground floor. He strode out urgently to the relief of his fellow commuters. His stride soon turned into a bit of a jog, which went unnoticed by the scores of shoppers milling around. The few who looked at him didn't pause to think much of it. A middle-aged man waited outside a shop for his better half, fiddling with his phone, thinking that even watching paint dry was preferable to standing here with half a dozen bags of Ajmal perfumes and Abercrombie & Fitch resting between his legs. He was the only one to notice this gorilla of a man run past him towards the exit of the mall. His curiosity died exactly a few seconds later as he turned back to his phone. The man had now left the mall. The gravel crunched under his polished shoes as he continued to run on the side of a footpath towards the car park. He stopped in his tracks and decided against it. He wasn't going to take the boss's car. It had a GPS tracking system. He'd be compromised in no time. He decided to take a cab instead. He got onto the footpath, taking in a lungful of the dry Dubai air. Beads of sweat glistened on his forehead as he walked into a tiny lane, took off his jacket and checked its pockets to see if he was forgetting something. He rolled the jacket up into a ball and flung it into a dumpster. It was bogging him down. He loosened his tie and undid the collar button as he continued to walk briskly towards a cab. His once pristine white shirt was now drenched in sweat. He felt his pockets again to check if it was there, reassured only when he felt it. He was getting paranoid. He managed to hail a cab and got in. "Marina Walk," he instructed the driver. The driver, a portly, jovial man, grinned and nodded. "You Pakistani?" he asked, attempting to strike up a conversation as he drove. "Mm-hmm." "Oh, I am from Karachi. You?" "Rawalpindi." He lied in a tone that clearly indicated he didn't want to continue the conversation. The driver took the hint. The man's iPhone began to ring. The screen flashed the name Omar. He answered. "On your way yet?" "I am," he said. "Should be there in 15 minutes. You know what to do? I will copy it and get the hell out." "And? You have the only copy, right?" "Right." "Okay, good. I'll get in touch once I see it." He disconnected the call and switched off his iPhone. It was the latest model, gifted to him by the boss. The boss had tracked phones before. In fact, he was the one who had done it for his boss several times. So naturally, it was safer this way. He didn't want anything to happen before the evidence was uploaded. The taxi pulled up at Marina Walk. He paid the driver and got out of the car. According to the instructions, he had to cross the road and walk up to the flat. Halfway there, he stopped and turned to check if he was being followed. It felt like he was being watched. Or is that just my paranoia? He needed to make sure and took a little detour towards a general store. He walked in, looked at the man behind the counter, and asked for a pack of Camel cigarettes. As he paid, he surveyed the road outside. Nothing out of the ordinary there, just the usual tourists enjoying the lackluster promenade, eating expensive dinners while sipping their drinks and enjoying the view of yet another man-made Dubai lake. He stepped out of the shop and lit his cigarette. Things seemed fine. He walked into the building, dropping the half-smoked cigarette behind him. The guard at the reception looked at him questioningly. "Yes, sir? The 12th floor." He replied as he had been instructed to. The guard nodded and got into the elevator with him. He looked down at his feet nervously, thinking about how he was about to cross so many lines. But it's the right thing to do. Or so he told himself. This would have been funny for anyone who knew him well. He was never one to look shaken, always calm, always in control, always the big guy nobody wanted to pick a fight with. He got off on the 12th floor and waited for the elevator, guard and all, to go back down. He took the stairs down to the 10th floor and went to the first door on the right as he had been told to. The door opened with a gentle turn of the knob. So far, so good. He was close to nailing the son of a bitch. He switched the lights on and shut the door firmly. He saw the MacBook on the table. It was already on. He pulled the pen drive out of his pocket and plugged it in. He dragged and dropped the file from it onto the desktop. He waited for it to copy, and that was it. Then the man he worked for would be put away for good. It was a pity, though. He had liked him a lot. Despite all the questionable things his boss did, the man had been loyal. He was a bodyguard for a reason. Almost everyone who has a bodyguard fears that the wrongs they have done might catch up with them. He had been prepared to take a bullet for his employer, but he couldn't just stand by if people were dying because of his boss. 4 minutes left. This was taking forever. He was about to light another cigarette when the door opened. What, or rather who he saw, sent a shiver down his spine. 2 men entered the room, and he knew both of them. He froze. I wasn't wrong. I was being followed. "Mr. Omar?" he said as he struggled to get up, his knees buckling with fear. "This man with you, he's not on our side." The other man spoke. He was built pretty much the same way as him. 6 feet, 110 kilograms perhaps. He was a bit darker and had a neatly trimmed moustache. "Didn't think you'd betray the boss, Vinayak. You were his favorite guy. He trusted you more than even his wife, I would say. Well, imagine his disappointment when he finds out, because you certainly won't live to see it." Omar was fair-skinned, way shorter, but just as bulky. Both the other men wore black hoodies and carried a pistol with a silencer attached. "You know what he's up to, Shakti." "Mr. Omar, this man ought to be arrested too. He knows a lot about the operations." Omar smiled, raised his pistol, and fired at the MacBook, shattering it instantly. "Don't we all, Vinayak? You shouldn't have tried to bite the hand that fed you." "The Dubai police is waiting for the evidence. You won't get far." "Oh well, what can I say then?" Omar said. "Nobody even knows back at the office. I don't want to ruin your image of the Dubai police, though. There are good cops for sure, honest and all that. But you just happened to call me instead." "I am doing what is right," Vinayak said desperately. "How much did he pay you?" "Double of what you earned while working with him for the last 5 years." Omar replied. Shakti.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?